This is the news for October the 3rd, 2022, and boy, it's jack-packed and stacked up to the top and beyond. So why don't we just go ahead and get right into things? Of course, it starts out with a little bit of shameless self-promotion, and we're going to talk about, that is, the email marketing 101 for authors. You want a little bit more information when it comes to email marketing and getting it super, super basic. My team here at Self-Publishing with Dale actually put together a great piece about this over on Substack. If you're not subscribed to Substack yet, what are you doing with your life? Come on, seriously. It's 100% free. All you got to do is head on over to dalelinks.com/Substack and get yourself subscribed. There is going to be a premium option, but for right now, just get the free option and you can be able to get these email notifications. And by the way, it curates all of this information. So if you're in the fear of missing out and you're like, oh man, Dale, I don't want to miss out on anything good, I totally understand. It makes 100% sense, so head on over to Substack, get yourself subscribed as soon as humanly possible. All right, next item up inside the news. Oh, did you know that Amazon Ads has actually quite a few features available to you? Yes, Amazon wants your money, but they also want to make sure that you're making money for them. So by doing that, they want to equip you with all of the updates and essential information that you need to make informed decisions when it comes to Amazon advertising. So with that being said, they actually had sent out an email. Here's what new sponsored ads are about. Our What's New with Amazon Ads page has all the details you could ever need or want to keep up with new releases. We think you'll like what you see. Check it out. So to access this area, by the way, you just go over into resources on your page, or I'll even drop a link down inside the description down below. But if you go into your Amazon advertising dashboard, in the top right-hand corner, there is a question mark. Left click on it or highlight over top of it, doesn't matter. It'll have a drop-down menu and it'll say training courses. That's where you're going to get all of your information at. So click on that. Highly recommend you look into their certification courses as well, because it is chock full of great information. Hey, this past week, I'd shared this with you before, but I feel like it bears worth in repeating because we will be talking about the best KDP marketing strategies for the holidays in today's podcast recording. But what about the other areas? Well, Publish Drive lets you know that if you've published a book that you're going to be advertising through Kobo or Apple, they actually have some specific sales and promotions that you can apply for. So if you already published to Publish Drive, disregard what I have to say here because you probably already got a notification. I'd highly recommend you put your book in for something like that. Really, really cool. And I imagine if you're publishing to Kobo or Apple, they may have that as well, but I haven't gotten any notifications from them. Where's the love? Where's the love? Genuinely. So next item up in the news, we're actually coming back to Amazon Ads. You guys are like, hang on a second, didn't he organize these things properly? That's what a professional does. I am not a professional, I suppose, today. With that being said, they just announced to Amazon influencers about a big day that's coming up. It's called the Prime Early Access Sale. This is an exclusive deal made available to the Prime members only. Think of it like Prime Day, but targeting Prime members. So this is on October the 11th to the 12th. So if you're looking to really ramp up your marketing efforts, now's the time to do it. Highly, highly recommend you at least start out some automated targeting ads, suppress any negative, any words that are irrelevant or targets that are irrelevant with inside your negative keyword targeting. That way you are really rocking and rolling. All right, next item up in the news actually comes from both the Alliance of Independent Authors as well as Amazon KDP. They're actually putting together a free in-person event over in London. I low-key kind of jealous over here because I would love to go to something like this. This is on October the 13th, 2022 from 2 to 4:30. There's going to be details in the registration for this London event, how indie authors can drive more sales and reach more readers via KDP. The topics that will be covered is launching a book, the process and tips, A+ content, how to optimize, managing a series, how to link titles, KDP Select, is it right for your book? Selling print, including expanded distribution, perfecting your product and author pages on Amazon, and latest resources for authors. Meet and network with Ally and Amazon teams and other Ally members. I really just, I can't speak highly enough of the Alliance of Independent Authors. And I think this is really cool to see Orna and her team put together something really nice. You don't see Amazon KDP doing a lot of events. They don't. They're very hush-hush about what they're doing, and they're very selective about what they do. So I'm really kind of geeked up about it. If you happen to be over in London and you do go to this, please get with me. Let me know all the things that you pick up inside the conference, because I would definitely love to know from you as well. All right, moving a little further forward, the folks over at Barnes & Noble Press. Do you publish to Barnes & Noble Press? Because I do. And right now they are actually running a very special deal, and it's the Nook Glow Light 4 sweepstakes. And they say this October, placing a print-on-demand order of $150 or more automatically qualifies you to be entered to win a Nook Glow Light 4. The sweepstakes begins October 1st and ends October 31st. So I've actually had a Glow Light Plus. It was really nice, very big, easy to read. Did I hang on to it? Nah, I bought a bunch of those digital e-readers and such, and I just ended up gifting them out to friends and family, because I usually either read print book or I read quite a bit from just my mobile device and on the free e-reader app. But if you want to get a chance at winning a Nook Glow Light 4, then here's a chance to do that. If you happen to be publishing through Barnes & Noble Press and you're wanting to stock up for the holidays, hey, enter for a chance to win. Alrighty, moving a little further forward from the fine folks over at the Kobo Writing Life. Yes, are you publishing your book through Kobo Writing Life? Then consider definitely looking into them. But they actually send out a weekly newsletter, and they just informed everybody that it is official. The Kobo Writing Life podcast has hit over 300 episodes. Bravo. I'm going to tell you this, that today I'm recording 170 episodes for my podcast. That's been a lot of work. And I can only imagine what 300 episodes is doing. I can't recommend them enough, folks. Go over and subscribe to Kobo Writing Life on any major podcasting platform so you stay up to date. And by the way, it's not just talking about Kobo. They actually talk to different writers about marketing, about promotion, about writing. So definitely well worth it. All right, this next item comes up in the news, and I actually picked it up this past week from Mojo Seedlack, good friend and follower here of the channel. And that is finally, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and announce it officially, because last week we just kind of touched on it very briefly. So Later Press, very quickly here, Later Press was actually one of the ones that let me know about it. And by the way, if you want to look into publishing your content through Later Press, think of them like Gumroad or PayHip on steroids. And they're run by authors for authors. So anyway, so there's that. They're not paying me to say this. I just appreciate them giving me good news. But Amazon is changing the ebook return policy in a major breakthrough for authors. So before, if someone bought your ebook and they read whatever amount they wanted to, they could just return it and say, oh, it was just a mistaken purchase. And it seemed like people were just abusing this policy. They were just going in and consuming ebook after ebook after ebook. Sound familiar? Reminds you much about Audiblegate? If you're not familiar with Audiblegate, just search up Audiblegate here on YouTube, and I've talked about it a couple of times. But all that to say this, that there's people out there that are consuming your content 100% free. They're treating Amazon KDP books like a library. They're just checking those things out, getting a refund, and going and buying another thing. Well, now that's not the case, because if they consume more than 10% of your ebook, they're going to need to send a customer service request, and it better be a good reason why. And they're starting to keep an eye on those people that are abusing the system. This is a big victory. I mean, it's so big that even a place like the Authors Guild, which is showcasing it on this article here, they actually cover TradPub, traditional publishing, and self-publishing, and they lean a little bit more towards TradPub than they do self-pub. Sorry, Authors Guild. I see what you do over there, but no hate on you. I'm just glad that you broke the news over here. So this is great news across the board for all authors, meaning that it's time that we're starting to close up these loopholes that customers are starting to abuse. It's silly. If you're going to go and steal ebooks, you might as well just go over to these pirating websites. Good luck, because I'm sure you'll probably download some malware in the meantime. You deserve it. All right, moving a little further forward. Man, that was harsh, but I'm just going to go with that statement. Have you ever considered publishing an audiobook? Have you been held back because you're not sure of the first steps to do? Well, the good news is the fine folks over at Miblart actually put together a nice little thorough article about why you should be publishing audiobooks. I mean, including some of the stats here. The latest annual survey by the Audio Publishers Association has revealed a double-digit increase in audiobook sales. The 28 member companies reporting to the APA had income gains of 25% in 2021, bringing the estimated industry total to $1.6 billion in 2021. Thus, the 2021 jump in audiobook sales shows an increase of 12% than in 2020. Audiobook titles published in 2021 also increased to nearly 74,000 titles, a 6% increase over 2020. The most popular genres in audiobooks are science fiction, fantasy, mystery, thriller, suspense, and romance. So rather than me trying to sell you on this, what I would recommend is go over and take a look at this Miblart article, because they're going to walk you through step by step on the most realistic things and the practical things that you need to do to publish an audiobook. Hey, speaking of audiobook, the fine folks over at Findaway Voices slipped this piece of news. Like, they buried the lead on this one here. But all that to say this, that Findaway Voices released new features on their marketplace. Now, if you're not familiar with their marketplace, it is where they connect rights holders or authors with narrators or voiceover talent. And having this feature, they just rolled it out over the last year, has been really revolutionary. It's a great step in the right direction, because before they used to play matchmaker, and I wasn't a big fan of that, because then you're leaving it up to Findaway Voices to finding the right talent, as opposed to you being able to sift through and find the right talent. But all that to say this, that they actually have two new features on their marketplace. The Stripe Identity, which it's a service that verifies your identity. This is available for authors, narrators in 30 plus countries. To see a full list, navigate to the Identification Verification tab under My Account section. Please note that users only have to verify their identity once if the verification is successful, and have 10 attempts to verify their identity, meaning that you're not going to be working with someone who says they're not. So this is a big issue over on ACX currently right now, because rights holders, people that have the KDP, or excuse me, the ACX accounts, can just go in and falsely claim rights of a particular book if they just find it that way. Whereas with this, if we see that there is an identity verification, this means that Findaway Voices has essentially vetted them. Now, the other specific thing that they have available is ratings and reviews. This is kind of nice. It goes both ways, by the way. So if you get a great narrator and you give them a great rating, then chances are very likely they might enjoy you, and they're probably going to give a great rating. Whereas if you get someone who's really dog dookie poor and just sucks at what he does, then you can probably give a very low rating and get it to where people aren't purchasing from this person or their services. Remember, it goes both ways. So if you are a complete jerk to someone that is a voiceover talent, it's going to reflect in your ratings, and the chances are very likely no one's going to want to work with you inside the Findaway Voices marketplace. Alrighty, next item up here in the news actually comes from the fine folks over at StreetLib. Now, StreetLib is an aggregate publishing platform, and they more recently picked up 3 new distribution avenues. They're European countries, available in European countries. One's Legimi, Wook, and BookBeat. Seriously, I thought I heard all of the names in the world. Legimi, okay, we'll give it to that. It sounds almost like a legume or something, like a bean. But Wook makes me instantly think of Wookiee. It's whatever. But any rates, all joking aside, Legimi is a Polish online store founded in 2012 and has become a leader in its local publishing industry market. Legimi's catalog in Poland has over 75,000 titles in both ebooks and audiobooks for almost 700 publishers and over 3,000 libraries. And Wook is the largest online bookstore in Portugal, founded over 20 years ago as a project of the publishing house Grupo Porto. And then BookBeat, you might have already heard it. They said it's the popular Swedish digital subscription service for unlimited reading and listening of ebooks and audiobooks. So big congrats over to StreetLib for getting additional distribution. Folks, you might want to take a look at them. I have yet to really dabble with StreetLib. I like what they got going on there. And it was funny, I think probably a couple of weeks ago during a news segment, I said I wasn't sure if there was distribution for ebook, audiobook, and print book. It is. Absolutely. You get all three of those distribution. Now, the print book, I think it's paperback only and it's a limited amount of cuts. But nonetheless, you can look over into StreetLib and some of the different ideas and options that they have available to you. That is the news for self-publishing. What did you think? Was there a particular piece of news that you enjoyed most or least? And did I miss something big over the past week? I'd love to hear from you in the comments.